Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is gonna be fun, Ben. Hey, this is David with Hagerty and our Redline rebuilds. Today is a little bit special for us because we got a delivery coming and I can't wait to put my hands on it. A fresh piece of equipment. How cool is that? It's always cool to get new toys, and today's the day. So here it is, the much awaited vapor hone. And I was hoping to use our fork truck, but our fork truck forks aren't long enough. Well, I stand corrected. Our fork truck was able to take this off of there with some assistance from a little counterbalancing. So we now have this on our floor, all its glory wrapped up in black plastic, and now the time comes to yank it off of there and non-package it. So I'll start at the back. How's that sound? Then we gotta figure out where we're gonna put it. But this is nice. Oh yeah. This is gonna be fun, Ben. Now the work begins, hey? All right, well, hopefully inside there's some directions. All right, as you can see, we have our vapor hone all set up in place. It's full of water. It has its media in there. It's actually quite simple as just connecting it and obviously adapting into your airline. So at that point, we're ready to finally do some work with our CT70 parts, specifically the aluminum covers and our hubs. And yeah, I'm very anxious to see how things turn out with these. Now, we very well may have to still come in here and do some, some hand, call it polishing, just because these are a little pitted, and just to try to make them as smooth as possible. So we'll see what we find out, but let's see how well that vapor hone does to begin with. I'm gonna do a real quick pass on one half of this, see how well it cleans up, and then give you a nice comparison that way. That's kind of interesting. It has a nice little garden hose inside to spray off with some fresh water. And right now I've got just a little over 15 minutes into cleaning up these two parts. So let's see how they look, what the comparison is here. All right, so here's our brake hub. Obviously, here's where I've been spraying. And then here's where we haven't done. And of course up inside of here and all around, even up into where this has a brake shoe. This has a brake liner built right into it. So this is steel right here. You can see the steel is nice and cleaned off as well where I've done it. And then from an outside standpoint here, real easy to see this. So we have a nice line cleaned up here, left this outside, and then here's the biggest area that we did so far. That's all up through here. This is all done, and again you can see it like where the lettering is at. I started in there, but it's shining up pretty nice, cleaning things up really well. Obviously, like I mentioned, you're gonna have to go back in maybe on some areas that you want to have a little shinier where it's pitted. You may have to hit that with some sandpaper kind of go about it the old-fashioned way, like paint is considered, or like painting is concerned. But otherwise, this is going to clean up really nice. Now, just like traditional sandblasting, you do not want to start off with parts that are all greasy and grimy. You do want to clean them first because it just makes your process ugly. In here, it's going to get really bad because it's not going to just ball up our hoses and that, but it's going to just make the cabinet nasty. And so have your parts nice and degreased, cleaned up. Granted, some dirt, and that's not going to be the end of the world, but you wouldn't want grease. And it looks to me like we're going to have a fantastic product out of these, just like Jim did for us on the case halves. Now, granted, you can always do things a different way. This certainly looks like it's going to be nice and fun, and, well, kind of like all the other things, it only gets done one way. Got to do it. Alright. Wow. This stuff just comes out amazing. I mean, I know it's simple point, but to see these pieces come out of there with, we got about 2 hours worth of time in the cabinet. They were pretty crusty and nasty, and now they're nice and shiny and ready to be put on. So that's phenomenal. I can't believe it. Now, these pieces are all aluminum, of course. This is a little more geared towards your softer metals and such, but I'm sure we're going to find some uses for the vapor hone relative to some steels and different things, or just stuff that has some coating on it. We don't want to just blow it off like crazy, but you know, we want to clean it up. Now, our next step is going to be able to, now that we have these done, our next step is going to be able to come over here to our engine. And yes, it's an engine for now, but it's going to be a motor, because when it goes into the motor cycle, that would make it a motor, not an engine cycle. So that's my little tidbit. But anyway, here's what we'll be able to do next time around. We'll be able to start putting our covers on, button up the whole back half of this, sides and whatnot, get our stator in, obviously get our jug on, get the piston in, and get the head on. So we'll be able to move forward finally here with our motor and get this done. And then obviously we'll be able to move over to the wheels and get the wheels assembled with our hubs, get our brakes done, all that sort of thing, and keep this CT70 project moving along. So with that, get out in the shop, get your work done. I've been cleaning parts for 2 hours, and I tell you what, it's very gratifying. So we'll see you.